We're here.
Been a while. We've both been really, really busy.
We have been very busy and just doing all the things. So many things, so many things, so many amazing things. And
Yep.
I'm just grateful to be back with you on set.
Yes. And I love your new background. I think it looks amazing.
Thank you. I just moved the location of the recording into my office. And
I like
so
it.
I'll just kind of share. There's a large wall of bodyscape covers. This is just bodyscape and see, it's like
It
opposite,
goes all
right?
the way to the sides. Yeah.
It
And
goes this
eventually
way.
you'll do the whole room.
Yeah, basically, like I've got a whole other wall that I need to fill with Epic Fit covers, and then also some other major magazine covers that are in play. So I'm super excited about that.
Exactly. So we got a
Yeah.
great guest today, another awesome person that we always
Yes.
bring on. You
We
know
know
her better
her.
than I do.
We love her. Everybody knows Kimberly, but you do now too. And I'm going to use my right finger. This is Kimberly right here. This
Yeah.
is her bodyscape cover. She's right next to me.
Everybody zoom into that little picture right there. We'll show
Right.
it to them later because I have it on here. We'll show it to them later for sure.
Yes, I'm so happy that she's our guest finally, and it just was all about timing. And Kimberly has experienced something wonderful that she has been working towards for a very long time, most recently, and it just happened for her. And I'm excited for her to talk about it. But before we bring her in, we've got a little video from one of our shoots that we did a while back. So check this out.
Exactly. All right. And I just had it. And here it is.
I
Wow.
mean, how do you sum it up in like a little 18-second thing? You do it.
That was
Welcome
awesome.
to the program, my friend, Kimberly Castle.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here with you guys.
Of course, of course.
Her
We're
hair's
just
a little darker now.
I'm like a chameleon. I'm constantly changing. You can ask Sarah every time I shoot with her. I have a different color hair or style, or
yeah.
I gotta
No,
keep y'all guessing.
she's giving me shoot one vibes. We've done, I don't know, probably 7 shoots together, 6 or 7, somewhere in there. And the
That's amazing.
first shoot, Kimberly had this bold, brilliant, dark reddish auburn hair. And I was like, wow. I mean, it
Yes.
really did a lot for your look back then. And it was cool. Sorry, I got to turn my ringer off. People are so disrespectful.
No,
They're
I made
right.
sure as the theme song was going, I made sure I went to my phone and turned it off.
My desktop is another story. We may hear some dings. I don't know how to deal with that, but we'll figure that out. This is my
Exactly.
first time recording the podcast in my office. So we'll get around
Yeah,
there.
'cause that's why you and I came on a little bit earlier before we brought Kimberly in because we wanted to test it, make sure it was working properly.
Yep, exactly. Seems to be just fine.
It does.
So Kim originally from Canada, and you want to tell the audience a little bit about that and your history and your background?
Yeah, sure. Originally from Canada, so I've got a fellow Canadian on the line with
That's
me
right.
here today.
Yes.
Born and raised in Regina, Saskatchewan. Like, we talk about cold weather, very cold in the winter. I went to college in Calgary, Alberta, and then I went to work and studied as an interior designer in Calgary. So that's kind of how I started my career. And then I was really lucky to get offered a job by a company based in Dallas, Texas. And so I've lived in the US for a little over 20 years at this point. Um, in much warmer weather. I'm in Fort Worth, Texas now. So definitely far from home, but I have to admit, I definitely enjoy the warmer weather a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
your house is pretty new. You just recently purchased that house and you did some reno work on it yourself, right?
Yeah, it's new to me. It's like in a historical district in Fort Worth, Texas. So lots of renovations to do, but this is my opportunity to like stretch my design legs and actually, make my own home look nice compared to like everybody else's or corporate America. So
Sure.
Yeah.
It's not about
Over 20 years. She must have been like 5 years old when she moved there. Because look at her, she
Oh,
looks
you
great.
are so kind. You're so kind.
She's a youngin'.
Yeah, I mean, but when I was living in Calgary, I had kind of been back and forth between the US and Canada, and I had moved back to Canada, to Calgary briefly. And when I moved back was when I had just turned 30. And that was when had made this, we all make these, a lot of women make these great grand gestures to say, like, I'm turning 30, I want to get in the best shape of my life. And that was also a declaration that I had made. And so at the age of 30, I started going to the gym, and my coach was like, you should think about competing. And I was like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I am not doing that. I like to eat way too much, and I don't think I could stick to the diet. And he was like, all right. And then he kind of got me thinking, like, what if I actually did like clean up my diet, and how would that change like my body compared to how it was now? Because I was making good strides just working out. And so I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Let's do it. And so I did. I entered my first fitness competition. That was before bikini was a thing. I think it was before the WBFF even existed. Like, I competed in the NPC, or the Alberta Bodybuilding Association was who I competed with. And I got third place in my first competition. And Alberta is typically known to be a pretty competitive province. And from that, I got my first magazine cover ever, and it was Oxygen magazine.
That's
Good
right. That's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's how we do it. But
Yeah.
Kimberly, it was a really special edition, because I mean, it wasn't just any Oxygen cover. This was something that you had come through, and you had a very special cover.
Yeah, I did. I landed the fat loss cover, and there had only been one issue of that. It was an annual issue that they did, and there had only been one person who had been on that cover before me, and it was Jennifer Nicole Lee. So I was like, following in her footsteps was amazing. She was just such an icon at the time, and still is. But it was a huge honor. And I remember getting the phone call from Oxygen magazine, because they had called me, East Coast time. They were calling me on Mountain time, and it was like 5 in the morning. And I thought it was a prank phone call. I thought it was my friends. And so I really didn't take it seriously at first. And then I realized, oh, this is real. And so they were inviting me to fly out to Toronto to come and shoot the cover with them. And so I got on a plane almost the next week to shoot my cover. I was so nervous. I'd never really been in front of a camera before, and like to shoot the cover of Oxygen magazine, that was the cover. Like, you wanted to be on that magazine.
Yeah.
And so it was like a dream come true, and like shocking to me. It was pretty exciting.
I mean, it's fantastic. But then you got the bug.
Yes, exactly. I got the competition bug, and I got the modeling bug, and here I am.
Right. Well,
Many, many years later.
I know, it just kind of sticks with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's funny because I remember being in the throes of competing or like preparing for that first competition, and thinking, "Oh, why am I doing this? This is just a lot of work." And it was very hard. And I kept thinking, like, I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. I think I don't have children, but I think a lot of ladies might compare it to birth. Giving birth, how they're like, I'm never doing this again. And then you forget how hard it is.
Right.
And there you find yourself just back in it again.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a testament to your character, and you get the job done, whether it's a fitness competition or a photo shoot or your work life. You've become pretty successful over the years with your work and everything that you do. And you transitioned over with a new company, and then, that changed, and now you're with another company, and
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
you've done the groundwork. You've done a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel that way to me, but because I think I'm just in the middle of doing all of it, right? Um, I often am told it's the Canadian work ethic. So,
Mm.
even like my American counterparts that I work with, they often say, "Oh, the Canadians will get it done." Like, I don't know if it's because we're too polite and we just say yes to everything.
True.
Maybe a little bit of both. We just put our nose to the grindstone and get it done. And having grown up in Saskatchewan, these are good farm folks, trying
Yeah,
hard to get things done.
exactly.
Yeah.
Believe me, when I've driven through Saskatchewan a couple times, it's like nothingness. You go from the top all the way through to the bottom, and it's nothing but fields. And it's I hate to say, it's one of the most boring drives you can ever do.
It
If
is. That's why
unless you're
they say
stopping
you
somewhere.
can see your dog running away for days there
Yeah, you can.
Oh,
because it's
like
so
the
flat
dog's never
and
lost. Just came across the prairie.
it's
Pretty
flat and
much.
you can see for miles. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, some beautiful people come from Saskatchewan. I mean, you, Holly Barker.
Holly
Uh,
Barker and I are from the same, yeah, both from Regina.
that's so
Yeah.
cool. And then Holly Legg. Is she
Yeah,
from?
Holly, she's from Saskatoon. And then also Elaine Goodlad is
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
also from
Terry's wife. Yeah. Or I don't
And
know if they're
his
married.
ex-wife. Yeah. Yeah.
Ex-wife, yeah.
that's
Yeah.
so cool. And I'm happy to
Yeah.
know all of you.
Yeah.
I'm
And
But
glad
there's
I'm,
that
great people that come out of Toronto too.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of amazing Canadians that
yeah.
that are in the fitness industry and just in
Yeah.
general. Yes.
But I know what she's talking about when she said she was on the plane next day and then she's out there shooting, because I remember when back in the 90s with Rob Kennedy, he used to always be flying people in and bringing them to the store, because at that time we had our office right across from the airport, and he would just bring them upstairs and we just shoot there. And then I think probably where you shot, if it was at the Muscle Mag headquarters.
You wouldn't even guess where I shot. So I shot with Paul Bassetta, and
Yeah, I know Paul.
it was his first cover that he was also shooting with
Okay.
Oxygen, and I shot
Wow.
in his living room.
Oh, okay. That's
He
So
awesome.
it's
had a
not next
studio.
to you.
He had the backdrop set up in his living room,
Yeah.
and that's where we shot.
He came along after I'd already left Muscle Mag and Oxygen way back, because I left in around 2001, and I think he was
Yeah.
starting to come into the industry around that time. So I never
I
really got
sh-
to meet him personally, but I always wanted to. The guy seems like a
yeah.
really nice guy and
Yeah, it was
great
great. I mean,
photographer.
I shot that cover in 2006. So,
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah. So
I was
I was
Philip
just moving
State
here at that time.
at the time. We were doing other things.
Yeah. I just
I
moved from
know.
Edmonton to here back then, because I moved back to
Oh my
Ontario. I was
goodness.
in Edmonton from 2003 to
Good
2006.
decision. Good decision.
I liked Edmonton.
Right?
Anybody who was in Calgary doesn't like Edmonton and vice versa, because they're only that hour
It's
and a
a
half, almost
rivalry
2-hour
right
drive away.
there.
Yeah, it's that rivalry.
Is it really?
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah, like football rivalry, hockey
Yeah.
rivalry. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
That's cool. Well, we're glad you're here in the US of A, my friend, and we're trying to get John Butler down here for one of
I'll
the
be
shoots
done
today.
eventually.
That would be
Yeah,
amazing. That would be
eventually,
amazing.
for sure. Well, speaking of photo shoots and things like that, we have done a lot of work together ourselves. Like I said earlier, I think we've
Indeed.
probably done at least 6 or 7 shoots, but you
Yeah.
know, that all kind of goes along with the competitions. So, when I was first doing shoots, I was going to the fitness competitions to do them. I was putting myself out there, and I mean, you talk about some hard work. That is hard work, getting
Exactly.
everything organized in that. But we are just happy to announce that you have just obtained your pro card in a WBFF fitness competition, and we've got
Yeah.
some photos to show all the hard work that you have done. And I just want to say congratulations, because this is
Thank
something
you.
that you have worked towards for a while, outside of your pageant title of Mrs. Canada Globe that you
Yeah.
had for several years running.
Yeah.
And to, go back from fitness to pageant to fitness again. And
Yeah.
there's a lot to be said for that. There's, like I said, you've got a very strong character, and you always like to keep yourself working towards something, which I love. So, John, maybe do you want to show a couple of those photos of her?
Bodyscape ones?
No, the fitness
Oh,
pageant.
the
This
pageant one. Sorry.
You
You
know,
said
it
she's
only it
WPFF, right?
only yeah,
Mhm.
it only took me 18 years to win my pro card.
Better late than never.
That's right. It's never too late. I think that's really the message. It's never too late.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
it's that attitude that gets you through, right? And, it kind of it speaks to that video that we'll show a little bit later about age is just a number. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
how old you are. You just keep it moving.
Mhm.
But yeah, we definitely want to show the audience the photos here.
There we go. Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
It's definitely be a long road for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so this was
then
my teammate actually. So I competed in a couple different categories, but I won my pro card in the plus 40 age category,
right
which was
on.
amazing. And then I got second place in the 35. So this is the 35 category, and my teammate won first place. So it was awesome in that category. But yeah,
Right.
to your point, like I've competed in a variety of different ways for like 18 years. Um, I remember like grinding hard to get my pro card in the first like 5 years, and I just kept missing it, but like one place, or it was devastating at the time. And I couldn't figure out like what was I doing wrong. And I kept feeling like, I think at the time I felt like I needed to have a pro card in order to like land the magazine covers or shoot with these amazing photographers like we have on, like both of you. And I think that's the biggest lesson that I've learned, like in all of these, almost 20 years, is
Mhm.
that it's awesome to win your pro card. Look at how excited I was. Like it's awesome to win your pro card, but you don't need it to do all of the other things. Like I think as competitors think you need to win that to achieve all these other things. And I mean, look at Sarah and I, how many covers do we have? Like,
You can do that janky move where you can show your wall.
right, I can. We have like
Yeah.
10 or 15 covers together. Like these are all me and Sarah at work Sarah and I have done
It's nuts.
together.
Yeah. Do we
And
have a dozen? Do we have a dozen covers?
at
Is it
least,
okay? Yeah.
yeah, at
It's
least.
bonkers. But
Yeah, so I've got all those covers before I ever had a pro card, and so I didn't need it I didn't need that validation to do all of the other things.
right.
I think we just need to put our minds to it.
You
And
kind of went backwards with it. You're like, okay, I've got like probably 15 magazine covers total, and then now
yeah.
I'm going to get my pro card. That's not usually how it goes.
No,
And that's usually what
exactly.
happens after the shows is they're very hungry.
I was very
Yeah.
hungry. Yes.
It's like I want a burger.
I
Pronto.
did have a large, delicious burger after the show. It was very
Yeah.
good.
I saw your post. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on that. That is
Thank
a huge.
you.
But so what's next then? Like, what are you doing next?
That's what everybody's asking. What next? I don't know, because I honestly didn't even think I was going to compete again. And I mean, here I am at 48, getting on stage, winning my pro card. So, I mean, the sky's the limit, I suppose. I feel like I want to at least step on stage as a pro one time. And
You should.
so probably a show in the spring. I don't know. We'll see. And I got to
You've
shoot
got
with
good
Sarah
karma.
Lyons. I got to shoot with Sarah Lyons again to
And there's that.
celebrate and document this
Well,
this body I
celebrate
have.
celebrate something really big that just happened. I mean, Kim has been on, here we go with my finger, the cover of Bodyscape magazine. We did an amazing shoot of her. That preview video that you shot, that we saw, was of that shoot that we were
Yes.
shooting in Dallas at that
Yeah.
cute little studio. And I think we've got another video from that. Oh no, we've got a video from Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of my most favorite
Yeah.
shots with you, was when we shot in
That was
Vegas.
fun at that weird house. That house was
Very unique, and
yeah.
I think that's the coolest part about shooting. I've shot with you a couple times in Arizona and Vegas and Dallas, and a couple times in Dallas. I think we had a challenge once in Dallas shooting.
Yes.
last minute changes. Miami, like I think that's the coolest part is we have all of these amazing locations that we've been able to shoot in, and
Yeah.
they're all vastly different.
Best.
So we have all these amazing shots of these very cool venues and locations.
We've been there. John, do you have that? I think it was the longer video that I just sent you
Yeah,
right before.
we have it. And I'm going to show you a quick picture here that I saw on Kimberly's page that I thought was amazing because it's one of my favorite teams.
I'm like, what is it? Oh, yeah, the Cowboys. Well, they didn't do very well this past weekend, so
Not the past week. No, I was
but
not
they've
very
been
happy.
pretty good.
Sorry, I just had to
Yeah,
show that.
go
at least once.
Cowboys.
Yeah, right.
It's one team my whole family agrees on. And see, what some people don't know is I was one of the first photographers for Paul Dillette on his very first WBFF show he did in Toronto. when he
Oh,
first
really?
started it.
That's
Yeah, it was myself and a
amazing.
guy named David Ford, who's also from Edmonton.
I know David very well.
Yeah.
He shot my first fitness competition because he was based in Alberta. He
Yeah.
was the stage photographer, and so he took all of the photos at the show.
Yeah, and the very
yeah.
first WBFF show that he did was in Toronto, and Dave and I were the official photographers on stage photographers at down in the pit shooting the whole
Amazing.
show.
Yeah.
That was 2012.
No, it would have been way before then.
Okay.
It was when this would have been early 2000s, late 90s, something like that.
Oh,
And
gotcha.
he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, David Ford's very talented too. Man, there's a lot of great photographers out there.
Yeah.
We'll go to a commercial here. We'll play a couple videos here, and of course, we'll bring ourselves back in with Kimberly's video with that too.
All right.
And then we'll start talking about all your guys' photo shoots together.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'm excited.
Guys, how many times have we heard this? Age is just a number. But I'm here to tell you it's true. I am 51 years old and I have never felt better in my life. I photograph women of all ages. Do not let age stand in your way of booking a photo shoot with me. In fact, recently I worked with supermodel Pat Chance, who was 66 years old when I photographed her for the 4th cover of Epic Fit magazine. She was actually on a former cover of Bodyscape magazine herself. Not only that, but I photographed an amazing woman in Corpus Christi, Texas named Miss Jovan, and she was 82 years old. She brought it all to the camera, and I was just amazed by her stunning grace and beauty. So don't let age get in the way of booking a photo shoot with me. It can be any shape, any size, any age. It doesn't matter. Book a shoot. Capture those memories. It's nothing to be ashamed of if you're over age 50. Get out there and explore the journey on an epic destination shoot. I look forward to seeing you in front of my lens.
I was laughing because of the couch. You remember how
I
hard
had the giggles so bad on that sofa. I could not stop laughing. I was crying.
I know. Well, there may have been a margarita involved.
There were probably a few.
That was such a fun shoot, and Kona did such a great job on that video. He always just kills it for us.
Yeah.
He does an amazing job, anyways.
I mean,
But
it makes
yeah.
it look good.
And he knows how to work those shadows, right? To where it's like, don't grab that piece of fat. We're going to put a shadow over it. You know what I mean? He's amazing. We love that in a videographer. So photo shoots on photo shoots on photo shoots, but we just landed something pretty major. And
amazing.
Major for you, definitely major for me in what I have to bring to the table. And really, it kind of chokes me up a little bit because, you know, I've been doing this full time for 16 years. So to now be able to work with these elite level publications, just besides my own brands and besides everything that we've already done together, Kimberly just landed the cover of FHM United States, and FHM magazine is huge. It's like, you know, Muscle and Fitnessers, Oxygen, Maxim, FHM.
Exactly.
It's like the same parallel, right? And so
Exactly.
when the opportunity came for me to present to Kimberly, like, hey, you've got this option here. Would you like to do this? She jumped on it like a loose fumble and was like, yeah, let's do it. So do you have that cover shot, John?
I was gonna say, am I allowed to show it?
Yes, show it.
Yeah,
Show it.
yeah.
Right. I wanted to
This is
make
one
sure.
of my most favorite shoots with you too. Like that amazing photo
Oh my gosh, I know.
on the beach in Miami was just like the
Stunning.
sun, like the light was perfect because we didn't have special lighting there set up or anything. It was just reflectors, I think.
Yeah, just a reflector. And at the time, the sand was acting as a reflector, and it really just made your eyes pop. Believe it or not, I did not add any color to those eyes.
No,
that
those are gorgeous.
is what your eyes actually look like.
Like a wolf or a husky or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Beautiful, beautiful piercing eyes.
Yeah, and you get the skilled makeup artistry of Lisa Opie, who just seriously, she'll take someone's face and just shape it with her craft. And it's just insane to watch these transformations. Like Lisa and Allison are my most highly skilled makeup artists, right? And so when you watch those kinds of transformations come into life, you're just like, I mean, you know, as a photographer, I see a lot, right? But working with people of this caliber just really changes the game. And FHM just loved the image too. They agreed with me and thought that that would be the best bang for the buck for this cover. And I mean, it's stunning.
It's amazing. You like, I don't know. It's magic. Like I always say this, it's always so magical for me to see what shows up on the camera or on the film, because as the model, I'm like, I'm just sitting by a rock. I was literally sitting in this little cubby of this rock. And I'm like, I don't have the vision for it like you do, which I think is just, it brings it to another level. And then to your point, like Lisa Opie is just next level glam. I didn't even recognize myself. It's amazing what she does. And the combination of the team, like just that whole team together.
Yeah.
Your eye behind the camera, her eye getting the makeup, and then your amazing stylist as well.
Joey. Oh my gosh.
To help. So it's just the combination of all of the team together just like makes this magical. And like, look at, we're on the cover of FHM. And this was like a photo sitting by a rock on the beach.
They call me the queen of small spaces for a reason, right? I'm like, go shove yourself into this tiny little compartment and we're going to land a major international magazine title while doing so, right? So
and that's the thing. When we've been doing it for so long, we kind of know what each lens of ours can do and what it's going to look like through our lens without even looking at the camera. And so when I get a model like that, that's not sure, when you're putting them there, you can see they're kind of, I'm just going to be in a rock. I always make sure if they take a couple shots, I show them the back camera right away to say, this is what it's going to look like. Once they see that and they get that confidence, oh, okay, now I get your, the rest of the shoot usually goes by because they know they trust you now, that no matter where you put them, it's going to look good.
Yeah.
So, do you have an interior feature, John, that you can show also?
I'm sorry, the feature?
The PDF, the interior feature.
I believe so. I just got to figure out which page I have. I got so many windows open over here.
I know.
I think that's one of the lucky things about shooting with you so many times too, Sarah. And we do have such a good rapport together, and I totally trust you and what you're, proposing or what we do. Like, it's always
say that because she's here.
No, but it literally is. It's always magic every time. I'm always like blown away. I'm like, oh my God, that's not at all what I thought this was going to look like. And it's amazing.
Thank you.
And I think we shoot real quick together because I think both know what each person needs.
Yeah. There's not like we don't need, an hour on a look, right?
Yeah,
We just don't
exactly.
need that. Especially while John's looking for the interior of the FHM, let's speak on how we had to sneak all over the rooftop of Dallas, Texas while we were, as this location changed.
Right?
Oh my gosh, it was insane. But we know how to work it. Like we feel it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
we know
think
how
that's also just being like ready and able to be open to change, right? To your
yeah.
point, we had this great location scheduled and it got canceled at the last minute. And so we had to like just figure it out.
Yeah. I'm
And
like, I don't
so
care if
there
there's
are
video
a few
cameras everywhere.
yeah, and so I think there are a few shots in FHM from that shot, like that
Mhm.
shoot that we did in like a parking garage
Yes.
or in our hotel room that were like again epic. That one of my most favorite photos you've ever taken of me was done on that photo shoot that
Which
we
one
were
was that?
this one, that
The
one on the
Kimberly
right.
Castle one?
Yeah, that's my what
All
I think
day
my
long.
most favorite photo that we've ever done together. But
All
I
day.
mean, there's a million.
There's so many. I love what
Yeah.
Joey did with you here with tying this thing around your
Yes.
waist and
I know.
creating it.
I felt like a Greek goddess the way
Yeah.
he styled
That's
me
amazing.
there.
And how
Yeah,
your hair was. It was a low side bun. And for
exactly.
those
Yeah.
that don't know, Lisa Opie is one of the lead hair and makeup artists for the Miss USA pageant, like the big Miss USA pageant. She's got her entire team that goes out there and
Yeah.
is instructed by her on how to do the glam and everything. So this is the caliber of hair and makeup that we work with
Exactly.
in Miami for sure. But
No, it's
yeah, even
gorgeous.
Liliana did a great job with you here, Liliana Giddens.
Yes. Also amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing makeup. This was one where we were rushing. Like I was rushing to because again, we didn't really have permission to shoot here.
Nope.
Quickly ran and sat here by the pool, and there were some amazing photos that came out of this.
We got it
That's
done.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
nothing like when you can come back from with a shoot with really cool stories that are not to do with the
It's
shoot
the
itself.
dangerous
External
element.
parts of it.
I know.
You gotta believe me.
Yeah, and this is a
Yeah.
combination of Dallas and Miami.
Yeah.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
little boudoir boutique place. Your hair looks so cute there.
I love this photo too. This is one of my favorite photos too.
It's adorable.
I-
Like I think
It's
about
it's
all
like
the time.
Barbie vibes or something. I don't know what it is.
That was your brunch Barbie.
My brunch Barbie. That's right.
Every girl deserves to be a princess for a day.
That's right. I think
yeah.
that this is a great way to do it for sure. You're
100%.
pampered. You look amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just, mixing fashion with fitness, with glam, and we've done a lot of it. We've done a lot of it. I always feel like there's so much more to do also, I mean,
Yeah.
because especially with the direction that things are going in my work world right now, it's nuts. So, I mean, there's always opportunities to, shape it up and do something different and
Yeah.
just cool stuff. It's always fun working with you. It's never stressful. Even from the first shoot where I just met you, like at the location, I'm like, "Hi, I'm Sarah. Hi, I'm Kimberly."
Got this. Yeah.
Here we go. When was
Yeah.
that? That was in 2015. Was it 2015? Was our
Gotta
first
be. It's gotta be at least
16?
yeah.
Some.
Something.
It was a while
Yeah.
ago.
It's definitely
But we keep it moving, and we've formed a great friendship. I mean, Kimberly even came to my bachelorette party in Beverly Hills. And that was fun. That was a weekend
Very.
of lots of fun memories.
Very. Exactly.
Yeah.
It was really
Well,
good.
John, we got anything else?
I do. Let's go to some other stuff like for
Yeah.
a magazine of person. I think I know who does this magazine.
Oh, yeah, there's this
I love this photo too. I love the way that you put this issue together because
Thank
this
you.
really documents all of our work together. But I also loved how you did the front and the back cover of this magazine,
that was
of
fun.
this issue. So the front was the front of this gorgeous dress that I wore for the Mrs. Globe pageant. And the back of the cover was the beautiful open back of the dress. It just, I love this.
That dress
the
was
whole-
stunning. You had to have seen it in person. And of course, I chose a complicated scenario, shooting white texture on white
On
texture.
white.
which is not easy, but somehow I was able to get that division between the two. Because this is what I think of, right? Like, obviously, you look stunning, and John can speak to this too, like creating that barrier with lighting so you don't just blend in. But
Yeah.
the dress itself was just, do you still have it? I hope. Gosh, I feel
I
like we need,
do. In fact, I almost wore it for my gown portion of my competition this last weekend, but it was, yeah,
the blue, it needed to be the blue because white is really hard for fitness shows. It just is.
exactly.
And
Yeah.
you're covering all of your efforts up there
Yes.
too, you know, but no,
Exactly.
This almost gives off to me like an old-fashioned 30s to 40s vibe in the
yes.
modern world type of thing with the hair and the way the jewelry
Yeah,
is on the head and the poses, like that old
like a
Hollywood bombshell
flapper almost, right?
type
I
thing. Yeah,
remember
like a
when
old
I
Laura Bacall or Marilyn Monroe-ish type of thing that brought into a modern day.
gave
Yeah.
Liliana that roll of the crystal, right? We had a roll that I had got like at Joann's Fabrics or something like that, a roll of that crystal string, right? And I'm just start wrapping it around her head. And she was like, what? What are you saying to do? And I'm like, trust me, I've got this vision. And then she just started doing her own thing and weaving it into your side bun. And
Yeah,
that's
it turned out so
my
cool.
husband's top.
It's like you had a time capsule and you brought her back from the Great Gatsby and said, okay, here, put this 2023 dress on, but you still keep your hair like the Great
I
Gatsby.
loved it. Yeah, I loved it.
And we talked
There we
about,
go. There's the back. Yeah.
we talked about Kimberly's pageant stuff that she had done and with the with Mrs. Canada Globe, and that was the whole thing about the glamorous life. And you know, she had done these amazing pageants and reigned as Mrs. Canada Globe and like done all these amazing things and was into philanthropy, and it was really cool.
So lucky with that organization. You know, I got to travel to China twice and represent Canada there. Like,
Very cool.
I thought it was a once in a lifetime and I got to do it twice. So that was pretty
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
This shoot was one of my favorites. Such a crazy house.
crazy house. I'm like, let's just backlight this with green light and see what we get. And then all of a sudden I was like, this is amazing. We're going to keep going with this, you know, because I'm all about trial and error. Let's plug it in, see if it works. And it works.
You never know if it's going to happen, if it's going to work, if you don't try it.
Right.
Yeah,
and then
one of
that
my
suit too was like, are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
From the FHM one again.
Yeah, this is literally my favorite photo of all time.
Ever.
Yeah.
That's it.
There we go. This is like from one of our first shoots.
This was the first shoot.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. This red hair. Yeah.
You had come off of Michael Vincent or something like that. Like you had just done a shoot with him or I don't know, something, or you were working with him. And then this was the first time that we had worked together. And I was like, oh, this big red hair. I freaking love it. I love it.
I was lucky enough to get in Maxim with him.
Right.
But I got the cover of FHM with you.
Just saying.
They're almost like the same kind of magazine, Maxim and FHM, but I think Maxim's been out longer, I think.
Yeah, I think Maxim's been out a bit longer.
Yeah.
But FHM is cooler because me and Kimberly are involved.
Exactly. I was going to say that, but I didn't want to.
Yes, both of us. I think that is the cool, such an amazing.
I got
you. Exactly. That is one of my most favorite covers too.
Oh my gosh. Awesome. Who knew, right? Too. I'm like, okay, if you want to run this, let's run it, and they ran with it and wanted to tell my story about photography. And so that was really fun for me.
Love it.
Barry didn't even know what FHM was though. And I'm like, you don't even understand what's happening. Your wife is going to be on the cover of FHM. And he's like, what does
this
that
is
mean?
a big deal, babe.
Exactly.
His buddies are like, seriously, dude, your wife's on the cover of FHM. This is insane.
I love it.
If you knew my husband, which Kimberly's met him before, you kind of understand.
So now what you got to do is Kimberly's got to take your pictures and get it on FHM because you were on FHM and then you took her pictures and put them on FHM. Now you got to reverse the roles.
Right. I'm just waiting for the opportunity where Kim and I are together, both holding our FHMs together, and then we get that picture and send it to FHM.
There you go. I'll come and I'll shoot you both together.
Yes.
I'll shoot you both together and you'll be the first ones to have two girls on the cover of FHM at the same time.
That's right. Exactly.
Let's make it happen.
I love the textures in this one.
Yeah, this was fun. I remember I totally copied you and got this same dress.
I know
And
this was a great dress.
it's a
It's a
great dress.
great
I
dress.
still have it.
Yeah.
Where'd you get this? Oh, this was Hot Miami Styles
Hot
or something.
Miami styles. That's my go-to.
$50 dress. It looks like $1 million. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So
It's
good.
awesome.
Well, I'm so grateful for all the work that we have done together. And I know we will do more in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. We'll for sure be figuring out when to get out to see you again.
Well, you know, we've got
Um,
January 24th through 31st coming up with Joey.
I know,
took,
amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's a must do. Like he takes your look to the next level. Like it's one for me to plan what I think I should wear or bring the things, but he just puts them together in a way that is just next level, like high fashion.
Oh my gosh. It's because of him, I really believe that he's a large part of the advancement of where I'm going with everything that I'm doing. Because what he does is current. And, you know, he's on staff with Harper's Bazaar, Vanity Fair, Vogue International, right? So I get to work with this person. Are you serious? Like, you know, it's kind of that pinch me moment. But then again, I have to recognize that I am also a very hard worker. And so for him to be in my world right now, it kind of makes sense because I see myself going in that direction, you know, and it really makes me feel like a full circle moment, right, is happening. And like, you know, about Muscle and Fitness, FHM, and some Playboy International editions that I'm working with, but that's just the beginning. Like there's other stuff that I can't even talk about yet that's happening all through Joey Rolone, right? So it's just,
Look at me.
I know. Look at me. I can't even sit
We'll
still.
talk later.
We'll talk later. This is like a behind the scenes combo over here. So we're gonna have that for sure.
Amazing.
See, and people like him, the thing about it is, it's not just that they're in the fashion sense. Like, yes, they know what high fashion is and but they also have to be able to read people and their skin tone and their eyes and and see, just because this perfect piece of fashion here is awesome for photos doesn't mean it'll work for this person or that person. He's got to match it to that model too.
Right.
And he seems to be really good at knowing how to match the fashion with the model.
Yeah. I mean, we've got wardrobe racks set up, like ready to go. And he knows exactly where everything is. I don't even touch it. That is his zen. That is his sanctuary. And I just go. Last time when I was in Miami, I gave him full creative control on the wardrobe. I didn't have anything to do with it. I just let him go. And it was all for the greater good.
Yeah.
I'm just
I'm just so excited to see, you know, we talk about how things have changed from when I've started competing till now, but I'm so excited for you guys too, just to see all the change that you've done and how you've grown as a photographer and like all the amazing things that we've done together. And like, I can't wait to see all the cool things that you're going to do.
Thanks, man. Thanks. And I really, you know, appreciate you and your friendship, and you're being such a great client over the years. And, you know, I know that you're going to be a part of that, the whole big things that are happening in the future. You will. You're going to find
big things are happening. Big things are brewing.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, let's get into the wow factor.
That's right. So give us your words of wisdom. Let everybody know what's coming out of your brain. Give everybody a little words of wisdom from.
I think I touched on it a little bit, but it's never too late, right? Like I'm 40. I started competing when I was 30. I'm 48, and I just was on the cover of FHM magazine, and I just won my pro card, and I'm 48, and so it's never too late to do all the things that you've always wanted to do. So don't ever think that time has passed and that train is, you know, gone from the station. It's just never too late to do what you want to do.
Words of wisdom right there. Age is just a number. It really is. I mean, I just turned 52.
And I just turned 51.
I'm the oldest one on this podcast.
See, we're in good company. We're all in good company.
But yeah, you got to take care of yourself from the inside out, and then from there, everything else just seems to happen, right?
Yeah, falls into place.
Exactly. Well, Kim, thank you for joining us. I'm so grateful to you, and I'm excited for this episode. We did a great job.
No, thank you for coming out. It's great to finally meet you face to face.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, both Sarah and John. I'm excited to see who's going to be next.
Yeah, we'll see.
And
We'll
maybe we'll thinking, I'm thinking for Sarah, maybe we should maybe next year sometime when we get into the new year, we should look back at some of our past guests and bring them on like an all-star cast for 5-10 minutes
Oh,
each and get a sort of what they've been up to lately since they were
I
on our
love
show.
it. Yeah, like a
Well,
recap.
maybe Kimberly will be willing to come back.
always. I'm always willing to come
Yay.
back.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for joining us on Onset with Sarah and John, and we'll see you on the next show.
See you later.